If you have hip pain, we're going to use a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball to help release that pain in your hip, and then add some strengthening exercises so that the pain doesn't come back again. So what we'll do is lay on the floor or a bed, and you can place the lacrosse ball right on the spot that you feel like is tender, that you feel a little bit of discomfort with the ball, the lacrosse ball sitting there. And you're just going to sit here in this position just to release that tender spot in the muscle. Sit here for a few minutes until you notice it doesn't quite feel as tender as it did prior. And you can also try to hunt after you sit in that spot for a few minutes, hunt for another spot. So you can go into your glute max a little bit, kind of laying on directly on the glute max this way. You can get your side muscle of your glute. It's a different muscle, your gluteus medius. If you lay on the side like this, and you can just hang out here for a couple minutes, see how it feels. It might not feel very good putting your entire body weight onto the lacrosse ball. So what you can do is, you see how I'm pushing up with my hands and with my foot. You can push up to take your body weight off of the lacrosse ball a little bit. That'll provide a little bit of relief, and then you can slowly add more weight onto the lacrosse ball, which will be more effective at kind of helping loosen up that knot in that muscle a little bit, and also allowing a little bit more blood flow to get into that area. So play around in different spots. You can do a few different spots, hold that for a few different minutes, see how it feels. You can also try the other side. After you're done doing that, what we can do is get into some stretches to help further loosen some of that fascial tissue that might be feeling knotted up and might not be feeling very good. So this is called a piriformis stretch, and this will be stretching some of those glute muscles in your hip in that region. So what you'll do is lay on your back. We're going to bring your knee up, bring your ankle across your knee like you are sitting cross-legged, and then with your hands, you're just going to grab your knee and pull it towards your opposite shoulder, and you should feel a stretch in this area of your hip here, in your gluteal region. It'll be your piriformis. You might also get a little bit of a glute max stretch with this. The more you pull, obviously, you'll get a deeper stretch with this. So you can hold this for about 30 seconds, and you can perform 3 of them, and you can do this on both sides just to keep things equal with both of your hips. And doing stretches in this position after you do the rolling will help loosen up, apply a little bit more blood flow in that area, help that fascia release a little bit more so it's not quite as constricted as it was earlier, and get a little bit of movement back into that region. So you can try this stretch and see how it feels. After this, we want to do some strengthening exercises, so we'll check those out next. So with our hip strengthening exercises, we want to start basic first and then progress to a little bit more complex exercise. So we'll start with an open chain exercise. With open chain exercises, it just basically means that we're not standing up for this exercise, we're laying down. So we'll lay down on our side for this exercise to work our glute muscle here. And this one is specifically for our gluteus medius. If you're having some pain in the side of your hip, like you felt a lot of that pain and discomfort when you're digging in with the lacrosse ball on the side of your hip and that muscle, this will be a good strengthening exercise for that particular area. So what we'll do is we'll lay on our side, try to keep a neutral, like a straight line between your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and your ankles. And for this exercise, we're going to keep our toe pointed forward, and you're just going to slowly raise your foot up, slowly raise back down, and you can perform 10 of this exercise. Try not to rotate your back. Try to keep yourself laying on your side and having no rotation at your hips or your back. Again, we'll do 3 sets of 10 with this exercise, nice and slow. And then when you're done with that, doing 3 sets of 10, we'll turn our foot out. So this is kind of an important distinction. Turning our foot out doesn't mean rotating our hips or our back out. It just means turning just our leg, pointing our toe or our foot up towards the ceiling. and lowering back down. That's working a different gluteal muscle in this position. So you can try this as well, doing 3 sets of 10. And then once we do 3 sets of 10 of that, you can try pointing your toe down towards the floor and performing 3 sets of 10 in this position. That's also working a different gluteal muscle. So strengthening that area will help us with progressing with that stretching that we were able to do, that myofascial release that we were able to do earlier, and then strengthening the area helps mitigate any future pain from occurring again, because the muscle tissue is stronger, it's denser, and it will be more fortified for the future. If you had pain with the lacrosse ball laying down directly in your gluteus maximus area, we can do some bridging exercises. So what we'll do is lay on the floor with our knees up, feet flat, and you can just bring your hands across your chest, slowly raise your bottom up off the ground. Try to keep a straight line between your knees, hips, and your shoulders for this exercise. And then I like to hold this position here for about 5 seconds or so. You can also add a glute set, which you can check out this video above more on glute setting, but this is just to squeeze and isolate that gluteus maximus muscle to get a little bit more of a contraction. So then you'll lower back down, raise up, hold that for about 5 seconds, lower back down. And for this, you can do 3 sets of 10 as well. So that's isolating our gluteus maximus muscle to strengthen that specific area from some of the progressions that we were doing with the myofascial release and the stretching. We're going to do a closed chain exercise next. Let's go and check that exercise out. So for this next exercise, we're going to be working our gluteus medius, that side gluteal muscle, while we're standing. Standing can provide a little bit more of a functional strengthening exercise technique, just to allow us to functionally improve like things like walking and stair climbing and all that good stuff. So what we'll do is grab a Theraband, loop it around your feet. I like to put the Theraband around the feet instead of the ankles with this particular exercise. It gives a little bit more activation of those muscles, but it's up to you. You can also put it around your ankle as well. And for this, you can hang on to the wall because it's not a balance exercise, it's a strengthening exercise. So we want to make sure we're safe. And with this, we'll kick out to the side, hold that for about 3 seconds, and then we'll relax back to the center. We can perform 10 of this exercise. So this will be a nice strengthening exercise for that area. And with this, we want to make sure you're not leaning your trunk any particular direction or compensating by turning your body. We want to keep everything straight forward and just kicking out to the side with this. And then we can also add a glute max component, which is our back gluteal muscle. So if you're feeling discomfort in that area with the lacrosse ball or the glute max, you can try this next exercise. So for this exercise, I do loop it around the ankles just for a little bit more stability and activation. You won't really get any activation if you have it looped around your feet for this exercise. So you'll grab onto the wall, and this glute max exercise is going to provide a little bit of resistance with that Theraband. So you'll kick back, hold that for a few seconds, and then return. You can do 10 of that exercise. The band provides a little bit of resistance. You can also do it without the band. It doesn't provide a ton of resistance with this exercise, but it's a good way to strengthen the glute max in this particular position, just to be able to get that fascial tissue a little bit stronger from after us stretching it and doing some of that myofascial release earlier with one cross ball. So you'll do both of these exercises. You're going to do this on both sides. So 3 sets of 10 of this exercise, and also 3 sets of 10 of our glute medius exercise, standing both sides. So, and for this glute max exercise, we want to make sure that we're standing up nice and tall. We have a straight line between our feet, hips, shoulder, head, and we're not compensating by leaning back or rotating our torso. We're just facing forward and performing the exercise with just our gluteal muscles. You might get a little bit of hamstring activation as well with this exercise, and that's okay. So for these standing exercises, it would be 3 sets of 10 of the kicks out to the side, and you'll perform that on both sides, and then 3 sets of 10 doing the kickbacks with the band on both sides as well for those 2 exercises. If you found value from this content, consider leaving a tip of coffee as well. It really helps support the channel, and also consider tapping the like button. And let me know in the comments below if you've had any soreness in your glute muscles, what kind of things that you like to do to help loosen them up, or if you have any questions about these particular exercises. And also, if you're interested in learning more about strengthening your glute muscles, well, check out this video above. It has a lot of great information on how to strengthen those muscles in particular, and I'll see you over there.